What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Brolylegs, and today we are going to do another version of the Street Fighter 6 Chun-li guide. I've been playing the open beta and been learning a lot as I've been playing a bunch of ranked, playing a bunch of casuals with friends. So we're gonna talk about how Chun-li is played in this game, at least to me, and we'll go from there. And obviously, if you guys have any questions, make sure you leave comments below. I do look at them, and I will answer every question. And make sure you subscribe and like the video. Always helps the channel out. All right, let's get started. So for the most part, Chun-li is movement-wise pretty good in the sense of how she is in other games. She's very fast, very mobile, still has a very floaty jump, and the arc isn't that great. It's not hard to jump over somebody, but it also is something you have to think about. Now, just forewarning, people might jump into this, so hopefully not. I picked the server that doesn't have a lot of people. Hopefully nobody comes in here, but they might, you never know. Alright, so I'm gonna show off my button layout for everyone real quick, just in case I have any questions about it. The main thing to see is I do have medium kick as my B button. I usually always have it as my right trigger. My right trigger is actually parry, so I can get drive rush a lot easier. This is my drive impact button, which is my right bumper, and I do have this as a 3 punches. We're gonna talk about the heavy punch. I'll say it's very hard for me to use. Also, obviously the 3 kicks. I don't have a really reliable way of doing the 3 punches, but we try not to worry about that too much. Anyway, let's go into the combat and stuff like that. So, for the most part, let's take away blocking for now. So, Chun-li has some really good tools in the sense of lows. She has her low medium kick is still very good, has a lot of range, and you can combo that into legs like normal. You could do any of the legs. If you want to do spinning bird, you can still do spinning bird and it knocks down, right? Which is a very good knockdown, very good hit confirm if you can get it. Obviously, this in itself, when you're playing neutral, you can't really get a knockdown unless you spend the meter, but you can still do this combo and it also knocks down, but it spends 3 drive meters. Usually what I'll do is I'll go into this move. Now, one big difference in this game compared to 5 and 4 is there's 2 sets of EX kicks. There's one that just stops midway, and if you want to do the other one, you just want to tap it in the middle of that EX legs, and then you get the second set. Obviously on block, and we'll talk about on block a little bit more into detail, but on block, if you do the first one, you're relatively safe. If you do the second one, you're punishable. So make sure you know when you want to continue or extend those EX legs combos. Okay. Another thing that's really interesting in this game is that with EX moves, you can actually cancel into level 2s, right? And you can cancel into level 3s, right? So, but you can't cancel into level 1s. Level 1 is the Kokosha, and Chun-li has ground Kokosha and aerial Kokosha, right? So if I wanted to do like a stomp setup, I could do some air combos into Kokosha. Okay. Toward the end of the video, I'll start doing some combo showcasing and all that stuff with the character and try to use different buttons and stuff. So the 2 buttons that I'm really missing in this game is light kick and heavy punch. I can press heavy punch, but it is very far from where I'm usually at. So, but I can still do like EX, by normally doing punch, light punch and middle punch. So I'm not all the way out of it when it comes to using EXs for the punches, but it is a little bit, you know, it's a little hard. And hopefully I figure out the buttons system and see what remote I want to use. I did just buy a converter, so that's gonna help out a lot. Okay, so like I showed you earlier, her bread and butter is really gonna come down to stand middle punch, crouching middle punch into spinning bird. Now this is actually a lot easier to do than it was in 5. This is not really hard. Like, you pretty much have a lot of time when you hit crouching middle punch to charge and do spinning bird. So it's not that hard. You can also do something like that. Okay. She still has jab jab EX legs. Okay. Which is also, you know, helpful whenever you get those 3 or those 4 frame punishes. And this time she can cancel into forward middle punch now. Okay, so this is actually a really good tool, but it is a very stubby normal to use, so the range might be a little hard to use, but if you get it, you can actually hit confirm and then do super and all that stuff. Okay. Now talking about the EX spinning bird, it is not a reversal anymore. This thing is very slow when it comes to its activation. Its startup is 16 frames. Not good anymore. Not as a reversal. Her reversal now is up kicks, which is you do down down kick. Now she can do EX, and this is in, I believe it's invincible. I'm not 100%, but you can do it on wake up, so I'm gonna say yes, it's invincible. But yeah, something you just want to make sure you're aware of. The other thing too to talk about is the EX spin bird. So now it moves forward and it's a combo. So, and it pops them up just a little bit. So what I can do with that, I can do a couple things. I could do, if I want to keep it meterless, I do, oops. You can do some legs after that, which does some good damage. Or I can do into level 1. It does pretty good damage as well. Right? I think I can also do, I think I could have done like some combos with that, but in the corner you can do, whoops, you can do some stomp combos and add in a little bit more flair to that combo. Okay, so really good tool, really good combo. Does use your drive meter. I know I haven't talked about drive meter. I can go into a little bit of a depth with it. This is obviously parry, and it spends about half a bar, which is nothing really. You can also get perfect parries if you time it. If you hit it on the 2 frame window, you can get a perfect parry, which allows you to, usually you can get like stand middle punch or throw and get a combo off of that. You do have drive impact to the corner, obviously bounces people off the wall. So then I can do something like, you know, just some combos. You know, usually I could just do like, let me see if I can do a stomp combo. Okay, maybe not that, but usually what I do is this. Okay, I do something like that. That's just a simple combo. Don't want to use EX. I'm already using drive meter. Don't want to spend all the drive meter at once, unless I'm gonna kill him, right? If I want to, you know, I can do EX leg. I can do level 2, right? And then get a combo. Okay. Another thing to remember is that when we do stomp combos, if I do a third one, it sends them down. Okay, so there is no 3 and EX legs anymore. Now if I want to do a combo, I can do 2 into EX, or I can do 2 into just legs like normal, right? Or I can do Fierce Punch as well. I can do something like that, you know? So you can mix and match with whatever you want to do. You can do 1, you can do 2, you can end it with Fierce Punch. A lot of times I just do into legs. It does a good amount of damage. That one does a little bit more, so just delay it a little bit so that you can fall with him. Okay, really good. After throw, that's a good meaty attack with drive rush. So back throw does, you know, forward throw sends them kind of far. It's really hard to catch them because they can roll backwards. But when you back throw them, it doesn't send them that far. You know, you can do a combo, you can do meaties. And to drive rush, you just do hold parry and then dash. And you can also do it out of buttons like we did earlier. So now, to drive rush, you gotta make sure you're doing the right button. You can't do it off of like heavy punch. You can't do it off of heavy kick. You can't do it off of stab middle kick. Oh, actually you can. Yeah, you can. But there are buttons that you can't do it, and there's some buttons that you can. So I can do it off of crouching middle kick. Oops. Oh yeah, she actually forgot about that. She actually has a Sanchu again. So now she has a Sanchu, and that one is +2 on hit. So it doesn't get a combo after that, but on counter hit it does, and you can tell when counter hit happens. There's kind of like a little bit of a. I'll actually put it on for you guys. Where is counter? So you can see counter hits on the left side, and also a little bit of like an explosion on the floor. So this gets me 4 frames. So I can do that combo, right? All right. Another thing to think about or to know is now EX Sanchu actually launches. So you can do a couple things. You can do Stomp. I think maybe you can do that. I haven't tried this. Yep, you can do that too. Right? Pretty good damage. Or you can do level 2 or level 1, I'm sorry. Level 2. I think that works. Oops. Yeah, if you do it early enough, you can. Okay. And you can do, obviously, whoops. I think you can do level 3, yeah. So you can do level 3. So, EX is really good. It also, the way I look at it is, if they fireball, so you can go over fireballs. And it's actually invincible at a certain point. But it's kind of like when the fireball's like in the midway to the beginning, you can make a good read, goes really far, can go into level 1, does really good damage, right? So you definitely use this when you can, so that you can go around fireballs if you need to. She does have crouching middle punch, but now it's from stance, right? But it's not that good because you gotta like set it up and then do it. You can kind of do it fast, but it's, you know, it's still very punishable on block, and it takes a little too long for it to get going. Couple things. So let's talk about stance. So I am missing some buttons, so I can't do everything that I wish I could. But when you set up stance, you do down and back punch, right? Now every button does something different. So middle punch does that. Heavy middle kick does this. So the cool thing about stance though is that when you do stance, you don't need charge anymore. You just have to do the input. So you just do down up kick if you want to do that. Okay? You don't have to charge. Okay. That's just something you want to know. Let's see, other stances. You get jab. You get heavy kick, which is the launch. So this is like her overhead, right? Very slow move. I just don't do these moves. They're very weird, but you can do some good combos with it. You can do like something like that. So that works. Right, with the roundhouse, but with fierce punch it doesn't. it doesn't work. So you would have to do like, see like that works. So that doesn't work. You can, you know, if you do certain buttons in a row, you can keep doing stance moves. I think the best one, which is unfortunate again, I don't have the button, but the best one is definitely light kick. Light kick actually does some really good combos with it. So explore with it, but you can, those are like the ways you can set it up with heavy punch or roundhouse. You can do roundhouse. Okay. Forward heavy kick is really good still. It is punishable though on block, but this is 4-frame punish. So if you space it out, you can kind of get away with it a little bit, but you know it does do a counter hit setup. So you can do, let me see. Hold up. That does 1 frame. Okay, so there's a okay. Something I didn't bring up that I should bring up. There's counter, then there's punish counter. Punish counter, think of crush counter. Think of people messing up their DPs. And you can get combos off of that. So this is something you can do. You can do stuff like that. I haven't really explored this too much, but it is something you can use. Yeah, I haven't really messed around with that too much. Usually I'll just do something like, I'll do something like that, or if anything, I'll just do into level 2. You know, just something simple. I don't do anything too crazy. Alright. What else am I missing? Am I missing anything else? That's pretty much it. A couple things before I go. And obviously this is a very condensed version of a full guide that I'll do at launch day. But, she still has jump neutral roundhouse. Her best jump actually is jump heavy punch. It goes pretty far. You can combo into that. Right, so it's a good move. Jump middle kick is also pretty good. Although I feel like it's lacking in the sense of priority. It doesn't feel like a good button. It doesn't have any like lower hitbox. None of her moves really do. Her jump roundhouse is like Laura's in Street Fighter V. It's okay, but it doesn't go that far forward, so it's not really a good button. But it's, you know, it's something decent. Jump back jab is pretty much her anti-airs. Jump back jab, middle kick. Oops, middle kick is another anti-air. Down heavy kick is it's a good anti-air. And then jump back or jump throw is really good. You can throw pretty instantly when you jump. So if you read someone, you can do it. You can, and it does grasp pretty fast. I do actually like it in this game. But my favorite anti-air is stand roundhouse. But you do need to have some distance. Here's a good area, so if they jump at me, I get that. And I'll just show this real quick. I'll have the dummy actually jump. So if I do, I can actually super that. So it's really, really good. You can do, I think, level 2 as well. Oops. Oh. Yeah, you can do level 2. I think you can do level 3 as well. Yeah. Sometimes I'll do and just get that out of the way. And usually if I get the hiccup from just tapping it over and over. So you can do like, whoops. And just do something like that. So that's really good to do. But yeah. Last thing I'm gonna show real quick. I actually need blocking in this. So her only plus move, before I do show the thing I want to show, her only plus move in the game is stand middle punch, and it's +1. Everything else is negative. This is negative, this is negative, this is negative, this is negative, right? This is negative. This is actually 0 on block, so it's not that bad. This is -4. So the way you make things positive is with dry brush. Okay, so you can do this. Actually adds a couple frames of positive frames to your block string, so you can just do a stand jab is now 2+2, right? So you can go into throw and all that kind of stuff. Okay. But just remember, it does spend a little bit of meter to do that dry brush, but it's really good. The only one that's not positive is that one. That one's -2, but it's not punishable, so that's good. But yeah, all right. So the last thing I'm gonna show is there's no more cross up in this game. You cannot cross people up. Even if I wanted to do stomps, it always bounces back. So that's why I always do heavy punch after that. So that, right, and just keep the pressure going with that. But yeah, hopefully you guys found this video somewhat interesting. Again, I know I'm missing some details. Didn't want to go too crazy into this guide. I will make a much longer one when launch day happens, because you know, frame data is going to change, moves might change, all that kind of stuff. But again, if you have questions, make sure you guys leave it in the comments, just at me, whatever. And I'm liking this game. I like Chun, and hopefully we get to play each other in Street Fighter 6. Alright guys, talk to you all later. Peace.